And we are live. Welcome back to McBain Manor. Julian McBain here, and today we are on the hunt for Shoggoths. Working on the Order of the Elder Gods here on Monria. And I don't know how long this stream is going to be. This is my first stream since getting over what I can only assume is either a really nasty cold or a flu. And so I'm not in perfect shape, but I wanted to do some streaming today, so that's what I'm going to do. We're going to see how it turns out. I want to make sure I actually emptied my bags before I can... Okay, good. You know me, anal retentive about knowing exactly what I've made or lost. So yeah, I decided to do a live stream here on Monria. I think that one of the things that we as Entropians don't really appreciate is the potential, the potential of a lot of the planet partner planets. And yes, Monria is a moon, it's a different contract, yada yada. But realistically, there isn't a huge difference between, or at least from a player perspective, there's no huge practical difference between Monria and any other planet partner. You know, they still have to produce content. They do their best. They've got to test it. They've got to get through Mindark's myriad of requirements, however many that happens to be. And they do their best. And so I've been perusing the Monria forums, and I'm still kind of digging through it all, because there's a lot of content there as well. But I think they've done a good job. I do. It's not easy trying to put together a project this large, especially when you got it secondhand. And I'm not saying secondhand is a bad thing, but it means you have to overcome a lot, especially if you're rebuilding something that had a lot of issues in the beginnings. Because from what I've read, Monria used to be as dead as the moonscape, right? There was no real player base, there wasn't a whole lot of interest, it wasn't going anywhere. And then when it transferred to its current owners, and the actual owner's name is I don't remember it. But I know that he hired DME as his, basically as the manager. I think she's the media manager. But they took over Monria. And I think the whole development team for Monria is only like 4 strong. It's the owner, his wife, DME, and a 4th person whose name unfortunately escapes me. All of the other, the wife, the owner's wife's name is Kendra. And that's all I can remember. Because, you know, I'm a loser like that. But you can tell the amount of work they've put into trying to build and foster a community here, and it's absolutely amazing. So, in my deep diving into all things Monria, because I really want to finish, I actually want to dig in and do the Order of the Elder Gods and see how long it takes, which means I could be here a very long time. I don't know that I'm going to be doing any of the mayhems this year. I probably will. I mean, it's me. I say I won't, and then I do, because I just have way too much friggin' fun doing it. But it's a case of I have a goal in mind. and I want to focus on the goal. And for Entropia Universe right now, my goal, I've got 2 goals. I really want to do a lot of Monria's content, because I think that this moon doesn't get enough love. Just like Cyrene, which you all know I am very fond of Cyrene. And I will make it a point to be there sometime this year. I go there every year. I spend some time there. That looks a lot like Insect Antenna, and I know it's grass, but that kind of made me think for a second. But I actually want to, like, take the time to plow through a planet's content. Especially since I don't know what's going to happen when the Codex spreads, you know, because Calypso... Mindark, because Planet Calypso is owned by Mindark directly. Mindark is eventually going to push the Codex onto all of the other planet partners. Currently it's being tested on Calypso. It's going really well. In fact, I would venture to say it's going rather amazingly. I can't wait for it to spread to all of the other planets. But I don't know how that's going to affect the other missions on those planets. And so I want to take the time to try and push through and get the 4 chapters, if at all possible. Which, I know it's going to be a long grind. I've heard of it taking tens of thousands of mods, which doesn't bother me because I plowed through all of the Punies on Calypso back during the Iron Puny mission. But, are you drunk? I just had the ladybug fly around more wildly than a freaking housefly. I've never seen a ladybug fly like that. But I love the whole idea behind Monria. I want to get through a lot of the content on Monria. And so that's what my goal is I'm going to try and plow through all 4 chapters of the Order of the Elder Gods, get the horns, and then I need to get the armor drops. If I can get one of the unlimited armor drops, which, come to find out, no one's gotten any of the unlimited armor. No one. Not a single person. Which just boggles me. It's like, no one's gotten it? Or if someone's gotten it, have they just hidden it? I don't even know if armor's dropped for me. I haven't even looked. No. I've got my Turellian gear, my Ghost gear, and my Vigilante gear. As it should be. For hunting these, I just hunt in regular plain clothes. When I get up to Yogs, I'll have to put some armor on. Oh, you're dead. Oh, hi. So, we'll see how that works. Okay. And you know, I've long considered the reasons I like Monria so much. Because there's just something that speaks to me about the place. And because honestly, the horror genre isn't exactly always been my thing. Now, I love Halloween. And there's a certain amount of horror that comes with Halloween, but this isn't so much fear as disgust, right? There's nothing really scary about the Shoggoth. They're just gross. Huh, that's cool. Never noticed the parts glowing like that on Buchan's spare rifle. My mask glows the same color. Because, you know, Laughing Skull. Not that I play World of Warcraft anymore. Sorry, tangents. But it's, the things that speak to me about Monria. One, the landscape. Which really sounds odd until you understand that I used to live in the Badlands of Montana. For those of you who have never been to the Badlands of Montana, this is pretty much it. Maybe a little more grass, not a lot. Whole bunch of rocky outcroppings. Mud as bad as quicksand. And the very environment wants to fucking kill you. So, that kind of speaks to me. Look, everything out here wants to eat me. And that's it. No, it's I lived in Montana for a year. I lived in North Dakota for 7. In a lot of ways, that environment became my home. And even though I'm back in my home state of Vermont, there is a lot about this that speaks to me. And so it's nice to be able to come back to a place that's very similar to that. I mean, the hulking deformed monstrosities is something new, but no one's watching tonight. Someone dropped in, but they ended up dropping out. It's gonna be no fun if I end up talking to myself all evening. But considering I usually live stream Fortnite, it's no big surprise. And I'm doing low-level hunting, so... You know, I seem to remember there being like a marker to tell me how long I've been streaming. Not that it really matters, I'll just stream until I decide I'm done. That sound has to be one of the creepiest sounds I have ever had to deal with in my life. It's like the Song of the Infected in Resident Evil. They all make that distinctive noise. And that's one thing I've got to say about Monria. They've really beat Mindark on the atmosphere thing. They really have. I can't wait until I can get a VR headset, because I know that they've recently released some virtual reality improvements, so you can play Entropia Universe like on an Oculus or an HTC Vive. And although I don't have the money for that kind of thing yet, I'm working on it. We're getting there. But I can only imagine playing this in VR. It would be amazing. Oh, that was weird. Hang on. That is weird. Even my leprechaun's like, what the fuck, dude? I could only imagine. What it's actually like to fight these things. Whoops, you died before you could reach me. I should do this in first person more often. It's hard to watch, though, when you're doing first-person melee. Not because I mind doing first-person melee, I really don't. Obviously, because I do it in real life. But the flashing lights of the R-Matrix swords really make it tough. Just because you basically blind yourself. So, like, when I'm using the Laconian sword, it's not such a big deal. But you switch to this thing, and it's just like giant flash of light filling the whole damn screen. Just going, ugh! Quiet night tonight. It says 2 watching, which means they're probably both me. Getting the range for auto loot, thank you. Honestly, it'd be really cool if I picked up the chapter on a live stream. Honestly, I'm sure part of the reason that I always have low numbers, or I can't say that because the first time I did an Entropia Universe live stream, I had like 12 people on here, but it was New Year's. It's like, everyone expects live streams to be on Twitch. It's like, no. Stick to YouTube. How much have we gone through? No, only 4.63. Yeah, we're doing okay for a loot. We've gone through like less than a whole head of the rifle. I have to admit, I don't play this game in first-person view very often, or not often enough. Come on. Seriously? He's just gonna ignore me. Dude, you will respect me. I shot you. Come back here and fight me. Oh, sorry. You died before you could. Right. There we are. let's go back this way. I don't know if I should be patrolling like between the two sets of solar panels or just try to stay to one area. I'm really confused as to the changes in my rifle. I don't know if it's because I think we're technically at night for Monria. Let's get them all. Well, it's an awfully quiet night, but that's okay. I'll keep going. But unless other people show up, it's just gonna be me, and I'm not gonna talk to myself too much longer. I don't mind silently killing things. Oh, it must be over the hill. There it is. I'm not exactly sure what a transmograph is supposed to be. It's like they don't transmog anything. Were they once human? You know what they remind me of? Great Unclean Ones. So for those of my non-existent watchers tonight that are familiar with the Warhammer 40k universe, that's what they remind me of. The Nurgle Greater Demons. The Great Unclean Ones. And what's the difference between a mutant and a permutant? Is it permanently mutated? Is this what a transmog turns into? They get real non-specific as to these things. Yes, I'm drinking, can you tell? I swear these are eyeballs and they look disgusting. Transmogrous, excuse me. Hey, welcome to the manor. See someone watching in the background. Trying to get this first chapter here on Monria. I think the best part about low-level hunting is that you can do it forever. I could probably sit here for the next 6 hours and not run out of ammunition. I'd have to go back and repair the rifle once in a while, but... Hey, global! What, 4 ped? 5? 5 ped. That's okay. Global's a global. Not gonna complain. Maybe Mindark knows I'm live streaming. Throw me a lifeline. What's that? Is that an actual divot, or... We'll kill this transmograph on the way by. Let's see what's over here. I don't know that there's going to be anything over here, but I don't even know that I've explored this before. Hey, it looks like I've got a another watcher. Welcome to the manor. Oh, is that it? Really? But there's so much potential back here. That sounded wrong. Just landform. I'm sure this is something they'll develop later. Oh, wait a second. We got Yogs back here. We have Yogs back here. Okay. They're all low level. Non-tameable. But that is good to know. Oh yeah, they're L3, which means they're much tougher. They're basically giant spiders. There we go. Back on the Shoggoth train. Gotta get this chapter. I'm really hoping to pick it up soon. Whoops. I'll parse back out to third person. The one benefit to being in third person is if there's any fruit lying around, you're more likely to see it. Glad to see there's some people watching. Welcome to the Manor. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're on the track to find the 4 Monria chapters, looking for the first one. All on the road to 13 million subscribers. Okay. Well, at least we're getting somewhere on the DSEC mission. With the 3361, I would love to get that chapter sometime before I finish the DSEC missions. Which I'm on chapter 4? Yeah. I don't know how many there are. I'm assuming there are 6. There could be more than that. Yes, Richard, we're on the road to 13 million subscribers, 1 subscription at a time. And I apologize, Richard, but I am not going to attempt to pronounce the last name you have for your avatar. I don't know if that's your real last name or not. I would hate to ruin it, so I apologize. Thank you for joining us. We're up to 7 viewers. Welcome to the Manor. Putting a good dent in Monria's Shoggoth population, at least. We burned through a little more than a pet of the rifle. Hey, Joe. Welcome to the Manor. We're on the hunt for Chapter 1 of the Order of the Elder Gods and on the road to 13 million subscribers. Loot-wise, we're doing pretty good. 13 ped back in shrapnel, 8 in animal muscle oil, various other loots. Nothing to complain about there. I don't think I've not been paying enough attention, but I don't think they've dropped any armor. No. No weapons. Although these guys do drop like the Rubios and the Azuros, just like the drones do over in Orthos on Calypso. Hang on. There we go. Probably can close my inventory. It's not like everyone needs to see it all the time. Here are the weapons I carry. There we go. And thank you for the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. We're up to 9. Thank you. Welcome to the manor. If y'all could do me a favor and share me to your favorite social media sites, that would be greatly appreciated. We're aiming for that first chapter tonight. Don't know that it's going to happen. It's a rare drop, but we're going to aim for it. And we've got our 10th viewer. Welcome to the manor. Thank you for joining us. I know I'm being quiet, sorry guys, because I went through a lot of my content early on. My hope is to give you something good to see, like picking up chapter 1. That would be amazing. But I have been told it is an excessively rare drop. And that's okay, that's the way it should be. You gotta grind this shit out, right? Hey Gavin, welcome to the manor. We're looking to get a hold of Chapter 1 of the Order of the Elder Gods. See if there's any more spawned over by these solar panels here. You know, I think one of Monria's strengths and weaknesses is that there's not many species to hunt. And I'm serious about that. It's both good and bad. It's good because you know you have a limited number of things you have to deal with in any given hunt or any given day. This is what you have to actually contend with. It's narrow, it's easily measurable, good to go. At the same time, it's hard to break things up. And that can make things tough. Now, for someone like me, that doesn't matter so much. I don't mind grinding this out. But I know for some players that'll be a challenge. Hey Juan, welcome back to the manor. Thank you for joining me tonight. $34.03 of 5,000. You know it's a good Entropia grind when there's thousands that you have to kill before you complete the mission. Let's see if there's any back here beyond the draw distance. I know who you are, Juan. You've given me some good advice over the time that I've been a content creator, and both on Next Island and I think on Arcadia, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. Let's kind of shoot out this way and see what we got going for us. There might be nothing out here, in which case I'll have to turn around and go back through the crater again, but there we go. These guys can take a lot of damage for L2s. Like a lot of damage. Nothing wrong with that one. Jumping from planet to planet is, I think, pretty much how a lot of us play. Although I try to limit the amount of the number of jumps that I do. So I'll spend like a month or two on a planet, go back to Calypso. A month or two on another planet, go back to Calypso. This year, I think the only planet I have not really touched, like I dropped a couple people off there. I think the only one I haven't really been to and actually explored is Entropia, which I know I'm going to have to do at some point. I grew up in the 80s. It kind of hurts because it brings out like all that nostalgia garbage. You know, big hair and short circuit. Which I know it's probably supposed to be closer to a 1970s planet, but let's face it, they kind of melded together pretty well. Go play your Atari. I think that's pretty much it for climbing the hill. Oh no, there are more. It feels like we're at a sharp angle here. Which, it's steep enough, but not terribly steep. Sure thing, Gavin. So, the icons above my health... So, Gavin asks, Julian, can you explain the icons above your health bar? I only get them when I take a skill pill, and only 1 or 2, but at Twin Peaks people may have maybe 8. What's the game mechanic? So each of these, of course, represents a buff or a debuff. It's a debuff, it'll be red. If it's a buff, it's green. So for me, I have increased regeneration and increased health due to this ring right here, which increases my regeneration by 30%, increases my health by 12 points. This is the duration of the auto loot pill I took. Which, if they're here. For instance, these are good for an hour and 15 minutes, but these are good for 3 days. That's 72 hours. No. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm still overcoming a cold. Yeah, 72 hours of constant loot. In-game. It doesn't keep ticking if you're not in-game. It stops. So of that, I've used all but 1 day, 5 hours. So those are the 3 buffs that are above my head or above my health bar in the game. The more things you take or the more things you wear that provide buffs, the more that'll exist. So like if I were to take this Easter egg, it gives me increased run speed, reload speed, regen, critical damage. It would just totally ridiculously increase the number of buffs I have for an hour. I'm saving this particular pill for when I really need it. Like, I haven't used my Scum Tote candies, which are basically giant which is hilarious, because they call them Scum Tote candies, and they're supposed to be kind of small, but when you display them in an apartment, we found out, if you watch my Monreal Apartments video, they're fucking huge. They're little statues that are like 3 feet tall. How the fuck do you eat a candy that big? Okay. Why am I targeting things that are beyond things that are closer to me? Stop. Yes, Kevin, that is correct. Rings, other pieces of clothing. Here on Monria, there's a set of horns that'll give you a buff. And skill pills can also do it, or other pills will do it. Scum Tote candy will do it. The Halloween candy box will do it. And then randomly, you'll occasionally get buffs that last for like 5 minutes. I've seen them last as long as 15. And as far as I know, those trigger on RNG. Okay, so where are we at? We've accumulated 19, almost 20 ped worth of ammo recycle. Done pretty good at overall. But we are running short on time. So I think I'm going to finish off this Vicissant. And then we're going to mosey our way back to forensics. You know, considering what these towers look like from the outside, on the inside, they're fucking amazing. And I'm not saying they're ugly from the outside, but it's definitely unique construction. It almost looks more like a hive than a building. And that actually honestly might be deliberate. But it does. It looks more like a hive than it does a building. Inside, they're absolutely gorgeous. Outside, they're still good looking, but they give that kind of mild sense of foreboding. Like, what was in them before we all took over the apartments? Kind of like, they remind me of what an anthill looks like if you pour liquid metal into it, and what it seep into all of the different crevices, and then you dig out the anthill, which they've done before. They did it to an abandoned red ant hive or fire ant hive at one point. And just the intricate tunnel system that it showed off was absolutely amazing. Yes, Juan, I'm doing the horns mission, which are the 4 chapters to get the horns, and then if you can get the random drop UL armor mask, you can fuse them together, and then it adds the buff from both. But no one's ever gotten the UL armor, apparently. At least not as far as I can tell. I've looked on the various Monteria forums, nothing's popped up. I'm sure DME would have announced it. But people have gotten the horns, so that's what we're on the hunt for. You know what? I have a car. I didn't realize I was that low in life. Driving around in my not an XJ. Whoops, we got some lag. The mission is always only in the cage? No, the 4 chapters you can pick up off of their relevant mobs anywhere on Monteria. I still have to get the 4 chapters before I can get the horns. Okay, so what have we got going here? 2.18. repair that. Head over to the trade terminal. We're going to convert this. And then, what is the, whoops, total value of the loot that we gathered? That would be 12.11. We didn't get any guns, and we didn't get any armor. I don't think we got any Mind Force chips. No, we didn't. This is something I need to pay more attention to, because I know for a fact that certain things on Monria do drop Mind Force. So, keeping in mind I did not keep track of how much ammo we started with. We came out with 993 in total profit. Oh, you're unique. Okay. Alright, guys. I'm going to have to end it here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. As always, I really appreciate everyone's support. You all have a wonderful evening.